Hey there, so you're thinking about moving to Smithville, Missouri? Well, in this video, I'm gonna take you all around Smithville, Missouri. We're standing downtown right now. And if you stick around to the end, I'm gonna introduce you to my favorite store owner in Smithville. And we're gonna take you around and show you some properties at different price points so you can see what you might be able to afford on your budget here in Smithville. Hey, if this is your first time tuning into the channel and you want to know everything there is about living in Kansas City and towns like Smithville, then click subscribe, hit the little bell for notifications so you can be the first to know the current market here in the Kansas City area. My name is Zach Morton. My business partner, Max Jones, the team and I have been helping people move to Kansas City for over 20 years, and we absolutely love it. But you don't have to take my word for it. See what our clients have to say with over 600 five-star Google reviews from people just like you. So whether you're moving today or 3 months from now, please pick up the phone, give us a call, text, email, or even set up a Zoom call. All that is in the description below. So let's get started. Like I said, we are in Smithville, downtown Smithville, Missouri right now. Smithville is located just about 20 to 25 minutes north of Kansas City's downtown city center. And it's a smaller town. The size, the population here is about 10,000 people. And we are on about a 15 square mile for Smithville proper. And like we talk about in a lot of these cities, it's more than, people don't always move here just because they want to be in Smithville or have a Smithville address. Sometimes it's a school district. So when we zoom out, the Smithville School District is actually 78 square miles, so quite a bit bigger. But the population doesn't really change that much. It only gets up to about 15,000. So we go from 10,000 to 15,000. So you can probably tell just by those numbers that this is kind of more of a, if you get outside of Smithville proper, it's kind of a rural community. And that's exactly what it is. The numbers paint that picture perfectly. Right now, I'm down here on Main Street downtown. As you can see, we've got some nice, quaint little shops. There is restaurants across the streets, bars, coffee shops. There is a stage out there. So all summer long, you're gonna have concerts. That's where all the music's gonna happen. All the festivals are gonna happen right down here. And then they do, any reason to get people together. Car shows, antique car shows, farmers markets, all kinds of that stuff you're gonna find right down here, like you'd expect in the downtown area. Hey, quick little history lesson. The name of Smithville, it's actually named after a guy that was Humphrey Smith, and he came here in 1822 from New York State. And when he got here, he started a little mill out of the Little Platte River, and he called it Smith's Mill. That was his last name. And nobody could pronounce that. So over time, it kind of just faded to Smithville. Rolls off the tongue much better. But now that we're talking about the Little Platte River, that's actually why this town is here now, or why the lake is. If you're coming to Smithville Lake, you don't know there's a lake. There's a lake there. It's a huge lake, and that was built. They kept having flooding problems down here in the town of Smithville. So the Corps of Engineers, they all got together. Started acquiring land back in 1979, and then eventually built the dam, flooded all the land, and now we have a huge, I think 77,000 acre lake called Smithville. And it's kind of cool because there was a lot of farm ponds and a lot of farm land that the lake kind of devoured as it grew, and there was fence. They tore out as much as they could, but there's still roads that you can see that go down into it. So anyway, 1979, fairly new lake, but lots of big fish. All those ponds, as it filled up, fish got out and swimming. So it's a great lake for fishing and all kinds of other activities, and we'll get into that here in a minute. All right, back to Smithville Lake. So Smithville Lake is 7,200 acres of water. So start there. It is very large, several boat ramps, couple marinas. You can rent boats there. So if you're just coming in, you want one for the day and don't want that boat payment all year round for the 4 or 5 months you get to use it, that's a great way to come out here, enjoy the lake, and then give you the boat back. What else do we offer? There is 2 swimming beaches. So we don't have ocean beaches, but there is sand beaches. You can drive right up to them by car or by boat and get out and let the kids swim in kind of a protected, safe area. There is 752 campsites. So if you like to camp, there's camping on both sides of the lake. There's RV hookups, there's tent sites, there's shelter houses, there's laundry, there's bathrooms, there's parks. They've got that set up really nice. There is also 4 disc golf courses, 4 full 18-hole disc golf courses. They're gonna allow you to get some exercise as you're walking around throwing the disc for free, by the way. There is the 2 golf courses. We're gonna go take a look at that, but they are right next to each other, and those are right on the lake by a couple of the subdivisions we're gonna go take a look at. Let's see, there is a sailboat marina. So you have Sailboat Cove, and that is a great spot. This lake, one of the things that I love to do out here is kiteboard. You may have heard that in some of my other videos, but this lake is set up really well. It goes north to south. So in the summertime, you get a nice south wind that blows kind of the length of the lake. So you get nice clean wind. So any wind sports that you're into, whether it's sailing, kiteboarding, kite foiling, wing surfing, all that good stuff, Smithville is a great spot for that. Let's see, there is over 175 miles of shoreline. So if you like to fish from the shore, you'll never get tired of that. We've got 37 miles of walking trails, and those are going to be walking or biking. They're paved trails, are right down by the lake. They actually connect to downtown. I don't know if you can see the end of this. I'm downtown right now. If you kept going on that sidewalk, that paved sidewalk, you're going to have to go up a big hill. So it's not my first recommendation if you want to go hang out at the lake. But that connects to it. Those 37 miles of trails, they meander in the coves and out. And then they also connect to, there is a 11, I think over 11 or 12 miles of mountain bike trails. So you can pop out onto the paved trail, go back uphill, drop back in, single track mountain bike, downhill. So you're not working hard going uphill on the dirt. So that's a really nice feature. And just all over the lake. And you can even ride your bike. There's an ice cream shop on the other side. Takes you to the town of Paradise, which is another thing you got to go check out. You got to get a burger, and you got to get an ice cream from Paradise. So you can say, hey, I had a burger and ice cream in Paradise. A big chair out there, you can take a picture. Great little spot. Get bait, everything. It's like a little convenience store on the other side of the lake. And then there's equestrian trails too. So if you like your horse and you like to ride it, we've got over 32 miles of horse trails. So you can just meander around the lake, row right up to beaches, right up to the water's edge, and enjoy you and your horse at the lake. And while you're up at the lake, this is what I just love about this spot, is there's so many things to do. I'm kind of outdoorsy, so this offers all things outdoorsy, but there is a professional trap shooting spot right at the lake. I can't remember what it's called, but you can go up there, buy your clays, they throw them for you, say pull, you know how that goes. The lake is surrounded by conservation land, and it's huntable. So you can hunt deer out here. You can go there's all public spots. There's a website you can get on, figure out where you can go, and you can put your deer stand out. So you can hunt deer here on public land. You can hunt squirrels. You can hunt rabbits. You can hunt waterfowl. I've been on a duck hunt out here before. So you have all that the lake offers as well. What else do I like to do when I'm come to Smithville for? We got the boating, we got the wakeboarding, we got the wake surfing, we've got the foil surfing, all things on the water. Touched on the rental boats, golf, dog parks, horse trails, camping. Man, I think we hit it all. And then a nice little downtown area. There is a couple marinas, one here in town and then one up by the lake that you can get boat stuff for. There's a boat dealer. Really good restaurants down here too. So Smithville, you're not gonna have a ton of restaurants, not a huge population, but we do have Humphreys. We mentioned his name before, but that's right on the corner. It's a great place. It's probably the town favorite. If you're down here, that's where you're gonna wanna go first. Make sure you check that out. Get a beer, get a burger. There's a coffee shop on the corner. There is Pizza Shop, which is a local place to Kansas City. So if you like that cracker crust pizza, you might wanna check that out. Mexican food. Grocery shopping is just right down here, so everything's really close. The housing down here, right around downtown, like in most places, it's gonna be older. As you get a little further away, you can find some newer stuff, and then I'm gonna take you to some newer subdivisions too that are more based around being on the lake, because when I think Smithville, that's what I think. That's what I'm here for, is Smithville. It's kind of got that laid back kind of beach towny vibe, but it's not only flip flops, it's got a little cowboy boots to it also. So you've got that A little bit of country feel if you get outside of the city a little bit. This is a town where you can find properties that are, you know, you can find a property on 3, 5, maybe 10 acres if you want, if that's something that you're interested in. Let's see if we can do this without getting killed. Or you can end up in a subdivision that has all the lake amenities to where you're fishing, you got your boat in your yard and you're just driving it down. So again, this isn't a lake that you can live on with a dock with your boat on the water. It's a public lake just surrounded by trees. So, and we just have a great time out there all summer. Spend a lot of time on the water, spend a lot of time on the trails. So if you think I missed anything, you want to know more about it, have questions, always feel free to reach out to us. All right, if you're moving to Smithville and you have children, then you want to know about the schools, right? So the school district, we're coming in right about 2,500 kids in the school district. That gets you 3 elementary schools, 1 middle school, and 1 high school. These are very highly rated schools in Smithville, all of them. It's a great school district. It's probably just a little bit below some of the other top school districts on the Missouri side. We've talked about like Park Hill, Staley, and Liberty. This is right in there with those. You're just a little bit further away from the city. But I will say, with the smaller population size and still having highly rated schools, if your kids are into sports, I've got some really good friends that have their kids in the Smithville school system. They offer lots of stuff like archery, basketball, I mean, you name it. But it's easy, since there's not as many kids, it's not as competitive to get into those sports programs. So an R2 school district should be a little bit better, easier for your kids to try everything than have to compete at a super high level to, you know, have been doing it for a long time to get involved. So that's one of the things that I really like about this area. And schools, so can't go wrong here. All right, and for crime, so crime is pretty low, kind of what you'd expect, right? It's a smaller town, we're a little bit further away from the city. But just to flash this graph up real quick, you can see the blue is the Missouri violent crime. We've got the black, which is USA as a whole for violent crime. And then we got that orange line bouncing across the bottom, which is Smithville's violent crime. So super safe place to be. I always like to tell you guys, like, hey, I would walk around out here at night, no problem at all. Any of these neighborhoods feels super safe, and that's my report on safety and crime. All right, so how about some cost of living, you might say? Well, cost of living up here, you know, when you compare it to the whole nation, it's coming in at 102%, so 2% above the national average. But when you compare it to Kansas City metro area, it's a great value, and cost of living is great up here. And probably your biggest savings that you're gonna see is on the housing side, just what you get for your house and all the amenities that come with that. And then maybe a little bit on groceries and taxes. We're at a tax rate up here, sales tax of 7.5%. So that's a lot lower than some of the other subdivisions, like our Overland Park vlog. If you check that out, I think they're at 9.2% sales tax. So pretty big difference there. But all in all, it's just one of those situations where you're further away from the city. It's a little bit more of a drive, and property just tends to be cheaper the further away you get. And that's how it is right here too. So the housing prices up here in Smithville, I pulled this right from the multiple listing service over the last 12 months. The average house price is coming in at $389,000 out of 215 homes that sold right here in Smithville proper. And the median was coming in right at 360, and the median again is that weighted average of the properties that sold. So 360 to 380, you can find houses cheaper than that, don't worry. And you can go all the way up to 1.4, which I think was the highest priced house that sold. And then what I found was very interesting when I zoomed out and did more of the district. So let's say you were just going for the district, you didn't necessarily want a Smithville address. Usually when you pull that maneuver, you get a cheaper house, but in this case that doesn't happen, because when you get outside of that Smithville, what I think most people are actually getting into is that small acreage property, and the prices are actually higher. So you can still find smaller stuff outside of Smithville, but you know, if you want to land on a nice size piece of acreage with a nice house, of course you're going to have to pay a little more than you would in the subdivision. So, all right, employment. So major employers in Smithville, it's still that smaller city size, right? So we're not going to have a lot of big businesses out here, but the reason I'm looking that way is you can see, I don't know if you can read that sign, but it says United Fiber. So Kansas City actually has more fiber laid, and when I say fiber, I don't mean corn planted in the fields, but I'm talking about fiber optic cables that are connecting computers and folks together. So Kansas City is a hub for that. It's where I think Google, first when they brought Google Fiber out, first started to test it out. We're centrally located right in the middle of the US, so it makes a lot of sense. The ground's cheaper out here than it is on the coast. So it really is a great spot. And now at this point in time, 2023, we have more fiber laid than anywhere else. And that is what is bringing Facebook or Meta, is they have purchased over 5 million square feet of ground. They're gonna build a big 5 million square foot campus, and it's gonna have a 1 million square foot facility, a data center. I don't know what they're gonna do in there, make video games probably. But if you are a gamer and we've got all this fiber here and you're gonna do it with some of the Meta stuff, then man, talk about having no lag. You'd be right here in Smithville, just a stone's throw away from the new data center. But in all reality, that's probably just gonna bring more people, more jobs, more opportunities, and probably push prices a little up. So I don't know, if I was a betting man, I would bet that's what's gonna happen. All right, any other job opportunities? We've probably got, well, the school district's gonna be a big employer. There's always gonna be hospitals that are gonna be a big employer. But other than that, you get a few people that are working for the county, but other than that, no major employers, no major shops. If you wanna get any of that, you're gonna be going down the street 15 minutes to get to like the mall areas or to the big box stores like Home Depot, Walmart's, all that kind of stuff. So some things that Smithville boasts is their population has grown by 10,000 people just in the last decade. So a lot of new stuff there. They are the fastest growing city ranked, they're the 6th fastest growing city in Kansas City, ranked by the Kansas City Business Journal. They are the 5th best suburb to raise a family in, ranked by a Movoto. And 1.5 million visitors a year are apparently drawn to this area and to the lake, just because of all the amazing things you can do there. Now, I told you if you're gonna stick around towards the end, I'm gonna introduce you to one of my favorite shop owners. And right now, I am standing in front of Jean's Flowers. So if you are down here and you've seen this video, please go in there and say hi to Jean for me. Hey, is Jean here? Hey, Jean. I was just making a little video and I want to introduce my favorite shop owner. All right, we're here with Jean at Jean's Flower Shop. Jean, what's your favorite thing about Smithville?
The people. Everybody cares about everybody else.
Awesome. Yep, that's how I feel too. You heard it from the best. All right, see you, Jean. All right, on to the next. All right, well, hey there, we are at our first house today. Welcome to Harborview. Harborview is located kind of right in the middle of Smithville. It's just north of the downtown of Smithville. And the first house we're going to talk about today, there's actually nothing in Harborview that's active for sale right now. So I found the most recent sold. And this is a property that had just sold for $305,000. So what you get for $305 is right behind me here. This is coming in at 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 1,700 total square feet. That includes the finished basement, and just well done. Newer flooring, updated kitchen countertops. The home shows really well. It sold really fast, so no doubt to the way the updates they did to it. It also has a new roof. So really what I like about this neighborhood, you'll find that this is kind of the starter neighborhood for the people, or has some of the best prices for people, entry prices for people that want to be really close to the lake. Like literally I could probably tee up a golf ball and nail it and be over there on the shore of the lake. So this sits really close to Smithville Lake itself. You'll see it in this neighborhood. You'll see a lot of people with boats. You can't have boats in your driveway out here, which is kind of interesting. So you either have to have them in your garage, or they will allow you to park them on the side of the street. So we will see some of that, especially in the summertime. Right now it's early spring, it's March, so everybody's just kind of getting into that. But that's something you'll see in this neighborhood. But it is right on the lake, so you have a boat ramp and a marina just right outside of the neighborhood. You're in the state park. And then a golf course that's got two 18-hole courses is also right at the end of the street. So you'll see a lot of golfers here. Something else that this neighborhood has to offer is patio homes, like duplexes. So people, you know, older folks that don't want steps, don't want maintenance, just want to live close to the lake, live close to golf. This neighborhood offers that as well. So really great spot, great pricing. Like I said, 305, 1,700 square feet. And you've got all this real close. And at where we're standing right now, we're probably 17 minutes, or not 17, probably 20 to 25 minutes to downtown Kansas City. So just a hop, skip, and a jump. And just one of those neighborhoods. I've got a lot of clients that live in this neighborhood. We've sold a lot of houses in this neighborhood over the years. So this is just a great spot if you want to get your lake life started. It's a good place to do it. So let's go on to our next one, shall we? All right, so here we are in our second subdivision. This is Rollins Landing. This is going to be a step up from the last subdivision. It's actually just across the main street, so not far at all. We're still really close to the lake, just like we were, and we're even closer to the golf course. So you'll see with this house we're coming up on, this is a, well, let me just pan around this whole neighborhood. You can see a lot of the houses are going to have 3-car garages, just be a little bit bigger, a little bit nicer, and that's exactly what we're walking up to right now. This property is brand new construction. It is coming in right at 409, so about $100,000 more than the last subdivision across the street. But again, brand new construction. This is a ranch with an unfinished basement, so you've got 1,500 square feet on the top floor, and then 1,500 square feet below that's unfinished that you could finish, and we've talked about that in some other videos. That the nice thing about that is if you finish that space after you purchase it, you don't necessarily have to pay taxes on it the whole time. So that's a little hack when it comes to taxes. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 2-car garage, ranch home, Rollins Landing. The lake's just right over there, so another great spot. Let's go take a, I guess while we're over here, let's go take a look at the golf course and the lake, shall we? All right, well, here we are at Paradise Point Golf Course. This is just down the street from the last 2 subdivisions we were just at, Harborview and Rollins Landing. And just wanted to take you here. There's 2 18-hole golf courses here. I think one is the bent grass, so the green, I don't know, fluffy grass. And then they also have an 18-hole course on zoysia, which is like a thick carpet, so that can be fun too. But just want to take you there. Half of this golf course runs right down the side of the lake, so you can have a lot of awesome views of the lake when you're out there hitting your shots. There's a couple par 3s that are out over water onto a green, and just a great spot. And you're just a golf cart ride from your house, from either neighborhood, but it's a public course too, so they've got all the carts here that you need. So that is that. You can see way off in the background, you can see the lake. There's also lots of ponds, lots of trails. These trails connect to the Platte County trail, or the park trails that go around the lake. So just an awesome spot and a lot of good stuff. Clubhouse, great place to spend the afternoon. All right, so here we are at our third neighborhood, and this is Greyhawke, and it is windy today, and we're up on a hill, so hopefully this comes out okay. But Greyhawke is the name of this subdivision. There's a couple different phases to this. One of them, there's like the entry-level stuff, and then we'll get to the reserve, and when you're on the reserve side, you just have to drink your tea with your pinky out, and I'm just kidding. But there is reserve, and then we're on the new section all the way to the west. So it's filling up. This is nicely, this is just a step up. We've been stepping up in each subdivision, so this is another step up. And the price point here, this is new construction again, is coming in right at $509 for 1,600 square feet. So another $100,000 gets you over here. But a really well laid out neighborhood. I'll kind of pan around. You can see there's still lots available. A couple of these lots have already sold and are pending, but still have a model home. Beautiful homes where this whole street looks like ranches. And I know for a fact that this one is 3-bedroom, 2-bath. You've got the 3-car garages you can see, and then this will have the walkout basement. So this price is for the unfinished basement, but again, that's our little tax hack. You can finish it with the builder after you purchase it, or kind of build that in, and that's just a way to avoid some extra expenses. But you can see, I believe that's the reserve right over there, but you can see once these trees fill in, you know, you wouldn't have neighbors all summer, but in the back. But then again, when fall happens, you can see your neighbors again. So you have part-time neighbors back there. But all these lots walk out, so you get a nice full basement underneath that. And we are really close to the golf course still. I am probably a mile, once I get out to the main road, a mile from the golf course, a mile from the lakes. Probably the people that live here really enjoy that lake access, that golf course access. And then you're just hop on 169 to go south just a short distance, and you're right there in downtown Smithville for groceries and restaurants and all that kind of stuff that you'd expect. So here we are. Thanks for watching this video. I hoped you liked it. If you did, please consider giving us a like and hitting the subscribe and the bell button. Really appreciate it. Hey, if you're moving into the Kansas City area or someplace like Smithville, you can relax. You've got a friend in the business. Talk to you next time.